our success, and I'm going to keep it real with you guys, our success came when that pandemic hit. When that pandemic hit, people were losing their mobile homes left and right, and that's how we became successful at mobile home investing. Okay. All right, guys, this is Kelly from Heels, Deals, and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course. I'm out here sitting in this park with my dog, and what we're going to talk about today is that it's about to be 2025. Here it's about to be 2025, and I'm sure some of you guys have made New Year's resolutions that you didn't fulfill in 2024. Okay, you didn't do it. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. You didn't fulfill it, and one of your resolutions might have been to start investing in real estate. And when you talk about real estate, a lot of people don't even think about mobile homes. They just think about single family homes. But I'm here to tell you guys why I still believe, will always believe that mobile home investing is where it's at. And the main reason why I believe in it is because, in a little bit here, guys, when President Trump gets into office, the average single family home, it probably already is, the average single family home is going to cost you roughly about $700,000. Not a lot of people have that type of money. And when you're talking about $700,000, guys, you're talking about having to come up with 10% down payment. So now you're talking about you're going to need $70,000 down on the low end in order to purchase a single family home. And so when you have single family homes going up in price, guess what else is going to go up in price? Mobile homes are going to go up in price too. So it's going to get to a point where mobile homes were once not sexy. Even some investors were afraid to say, hey, they invest in mobile homes. They didn't want anybody to know. I've always been proud to tell people that I invest in mobile homes, guys, because we are providing a service to people, sometimes to poor people. We're providing a service to Section 8. Sometimes, Section 8 have a hard time finding people who will allow them to live in their properties. We don't have an issue with Section 8. Matter of fact, we like Section 8, and that is our exit strategy. That's another thing. When you're in this business, you have to figure out what works well for you. Okay? You have to figure out what your exit strategy is. Your exit strategy, it can be my exit strategy, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. You have to figure out if you're going to be a fixer flipper in this business, or you're just going to buy the mobile home very low and sell it high, or you're just going to wholesale. You have to figure out what your exit strategy is. And our exit strategy, guys, if you have been following us, our exit strategy has been to buy the mobile home inside of a mobile home park and then turn around and renting it. Okay, so 2024, some of you fell short of your New Year's resolutions. Some of you did, but now it's about to be 2025. And I'm not even necessarily telling you to buy my course. I am telling you to buy somebody's course, because you don't want to get into this business and do this blindly, or get into this business and you don't know what you're doing. You want to purchase somebody's course who has made some mistakes. Anybody who's in this business and they tell you that they have not made any mistakes, guys, I'll be very leery of that individual. So I'm going to tell you about a mistake that we made, and hopefully some of you who are listening, you can learn from that. Actually, what happened was we had a mobile home that the tenants, or shall I say the end buyers, they were having some domestic issues, and the park kicked them out. Okay, and so we got our mobile home back. They had only been our tenants roughly about 4 or 5 months. I keep saying tenants, but I should be saying end buyers. They had been our end buyers for about 4 or 5 months. Okay, they gave us a nice deposit. And this mobile home was our 4-bedroom, 2-bath. This particular mobile home, my mother actually found this mobile home driving for dollars. Okay, so the first set of end buyers, they got kicked out by the park because they were having some domestic issues inside of the mobile home park. That's another thing. Mobile home park does not allow for all that domestic stuff. Having the police call every 5 minutes because you can't get along with your husband or your wife. That's not going to happen with the inside of a legitimate mobile home park. So that's what was happening pretty much in a nutshell. I don't want to go into too many details, but the park kicked them out. We got our mobile home back. And in 9 days' time, guys, after doing some touch-up paint, a little advertisement, we wind up reselling that mobile home again to another end buyer. The thing is, that end buyer, he was like, Kelly, please do not run my credit. Please allow the park to do it. I don't want my credit to be ran twice, pulling at my heartstrings. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm going to let the park go ahead and do that, which was one of the biggest mistakes that you ever can make if you're going to be in this business. You need to be vetting your own end buyers. You need to be vetting your own end buyers or tenants. You need to vet them yourselves. You don't want to send them to the park and then have egg on your face. If the park manager is telling you that, the credit score has to be a certain amount, and you're bringing, let's just say the park manager said their credit score has to be 500, and you're constantly bringing people to apply to the park and their credit score is 350. Okay, that's a sure indication you haven't done your homework. Okay, and so he was pulling at my heartstrings. I said, go ahead and go to the park. He actually showed me his TRW where it was a recent TRW that he printed off. His credit score was nice. I had checked out his work history. So I said, okay, what could go on in his criminal background? He seemed like a nice guy, whatever the case may be. So he applied to the park. Okay. The next morning, the park manager called me screaming, because she had already had it from our first end buyers, because the police were constantly being called to the park about this domestic stuff that was going on with them. So she was furious at me. She was like, Kelly, the guy that you sent to be your new end buyer, he actually was incarcerated for X amount of years. Some of these parks do not deal with people who have, criminal activity. Some of them, not all of them. You have some parks who just cater to that, but this particular park does not cater to criminals and sex offenders and people who do bad stuff to women and children and stuff like that. So here I am with egg on my face, because already the first end buyer was giving her the blues, if you know what I mean, because the police were being called over there because they could not get along. So they were asked to leave. I'm sorry, guys. I can't stand that bee noise around my head. Anyway, bees out here. So anyway, she called me in the office. She said he had been incarcerated and blah, blah, blah. Something about some heroin or whatever. Heroin stuff he was dealing with. Some drug activity. So anyway, make a long story short. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. She was talking to me like I was 12 years old, screaming and yelling, because she had it from the first end buyer. Anyway, I go over to the office. Well, first of all, before I went to the office, I called the end buyer. I said, look, you told me you were on the up and up, everything was good with your credit and blah, 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 and now I find out you've been incarcerated for 20 years. He said, no, Miss Kelly. No, that is wrong. That is wrong. He had been, his identity had been stolen from him, and that was not him. He said, I'm coming up to the park right now with my police report. And sure enough, that's what he did. He came up to the park with his police report, and biggest day, it said that he had been a victim of identity theft, and so that was not him. The whole moral to the story, guys, if I would have checked him out myself instead of letting him talk me into not checking him out, I would have known that too, and me and him could have resolved that, and then I could have let him go to the park, and I could have told the park, hey, this is what might come up. Here's his records to show that he was a victim of identity theft, that he has not been incarcerated for 20 years or whatever the case may be. So that is the error that we made, and that's what I teach all of my students. So this is a freebie for you guys. Make sure you vet your tenants, whether you're renting your properties out or not, and also make sure you vet your end buyers. Okay, that is very, very important if you want to be in this business. So what I am telling you guys, it is about to be 2025. I know a lot of you guys want to be in real estate, and to tell you the truth, it's going to be harder to get in real estate unless you're wholesaling. But it's going to be hard to get into real estate because the prices of these single family homes are going up and up and up and up and up. And people who already are very familiar with wholesaling a single family home, guys, they got the game on wrap. Okay, all right, for you to come in, you're going to be like a little peon in the single family home business, in my opinion. I could be wrong. However, in the mobile home business, guys, that arena is very small. Nobody really knows about this mobile home niche. Nobody knows about mobile home investing. When you first bring it up, people see mobile homes all the time. When you bring it up about mobile home investing, they were like, oh man, never really gave that any thought. Wholesaling a mobile home, guys, is easier than buying a car. When you buy a car, guys, you got to sit down here, do all this paperwork. There's only a couple of pieces of paper involved. Whether you're wholesaling the mobile home or seller financing the mobile home out, there's not a whole lot of paperwork. Deals can be closed with the ease. The fastest deal we ever closed was like 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes, and the time before was 15 minutes. Very, very easy. None of this long, drawn-out process. Okay? We deal with mobile homes that are used. We don't deal with brand new mobile homes. We don't do that. We deal with used mobile homes. And guys, our most expensive mobile home was $20,000. That's only one mobile home. Okay? All of our mobile homes, if you've been listening to the videos, guys, all of our mobile homes have been running us roughly about $15,000. That was our sweet spot. Our success, and I'm going to keep it real with you guys, our success came when that pandemic hit. When that pandemic hit, people were losing their mobile homes left and right, and that's how we became successful at mobile home investing. You better make sure your pocket is full, because like I just told you, the average home in the United States, average, I'm not talking about something extravagant, average home in the United States is going to be $700,000. So when you hear something like that, the average person can't afford that, and they're going to start looking into mobile homes. The problem with mobile home investing, guys, is the lot rent, especially if you're trying to invest in a park. Now, why is that a problem? That is a problem because the lot rent is forever going to go up. Our strategy is that we buy mobile homes inside of a park, even though we have to pay lot rent. And the main reason why we don't buy on land is because we like to deal with Section 8. Section 8 is not in the boonies. 9 times out of 10, Section 8 is not in the boonies. And if you're buying a mobile home on land, or if you're buying the land and you're moving the mobile home there, guess what's going to happen, guys? Who's going to be mowing all that grass? A Section 8 tenant? I seriously doubt it. Section 8 is pretty much going to be on your main bus lines. Not going to be in the boonies. So if your exit strategy is to buy mobile homes on land, if your exit strategy is to do that, then you're probably not going to get a Section 8 tenant. You're probably going to get a regular tenant. And what's wrong with a regular tenant? Nothing. If you pick the right regular tenant, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a regular tenant. But we like guaranteed money. Okay? If this pandemic were to hit again, we got guaranteed money coming in. We got guaranteed money coming in from Section 8. And that's why we like dealing with Section 8. We don't really want a regular tenant who might lose their job. And then now here we have a mobile home that we're not collecting any money on, because it is a regular tenant. Section 8 is guaranteed money. Okay, and what works for us, it might not work for you. I'm just telling you what works for us is to buy a mobile home with inside of a park, even though we got to pay that lot rent every month. But still, guys, the profit is still unbelievable. So let's just say we bought a mobile home for $15,000, right? Barely had to do any rehab. Let's just say another $2,000 in rehab. Now we're out of $17,000. It's already inside of a mobile home park. Okay? The lot rent is $800. Let's just say we can charge the tenant $1,600 altogether. So if we can charge them $1,600 and the lot rent is $800, that means $800 goes in our pocket every month. And like I told you, we paid $15,000 for the mobile home out of another $2,000, which is $17,000. My question to you is, how fast can you get your money back? How fast can you get your money back on that deal? If you're able to pocket $800 a month, how fast can you get your money back, guys? You can't see these type of numbers, and you won't see these type of numbers in the single family home business. You won't. you won't be able to see it. A lot of you talk about, I want to leave my children a legacy, but you're going to run out and buy a single family home. It's going to cost you about $700,000. You put $70,000 down, and you call that leaving them a legacy. It sounds like you're going to leave them in debt, guys. Because if you drop dead, there's going to be a whole lot of money that's going to be owed on that single family home. Okay? Is that leaving a legacy? Sounds like that's leaving some drama, if you ask me. Okay? That's not leaving a legacy. Leaving a legacy is leaving somebody something that's already paid for. They don't have to make any payments. It's already paid for, guys. And that's why we like mobile home investing. So if buying a $700,000 home for rental property is your thing to do, you go ahead and do it.